Well, hello everyone. This is Yvonne DeVita from Blog Pause, and this is another week of Blog Pause Cares and Shares. And I have some really outstanding guests with me tonight. You know that Blog Pause is only about 42 or 3 days away. I'm losing track. It seems like it's coming upon us so quickly. And these are some people that are going to be there. So you're going to want to be there also. I'm going to go down the line and let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk about video, because the internet is all about video these days, and just about everything you do has a video aspect to it. So I'm going to start with Denise. Denise and I go way back to the early days of blogging, and girlfriend, you know, I'm just so proud that you're going to come to Blog Pause again. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your adventures in visibility.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to return to Blog Pause. As I've said to many people, it's one of the top conferences I've attended. It's like I couldn't believe I hadn't been before, because after experiencing last year, I was just blown away by what you guys produce. So I'm really excited to be there again this year, and really excited to be co-presenting with my gal pal Mia Voss, who you'll be meeting in a moment. So anyway, I'm Denise Wakeman, and I am an online visibility strategist and business strategist, and I work primarily with solo professionals, small business owners, to help them boost their presence on the web, leverage social marketing tools like blogs and social media and email newsletters and that sort of thing, so that you can attract more of the right clients to your business. And I'm also host of a live video show called Adventures in Visibility, which aired earlier today with Mia Voss as my guest, talking about her latest adventure. So that's about once a month, and you can get information about that at adventuresinvisibility.com.
Excellent, excellent. I know a lot of people are eager to see you again, because you had such great response last year.
Oh,
it's going to be fabulous. And I agree that partnering with the Mia Voss, superstar, world traveler, love the orange Post-it notes behind your head. Kind of think I should be doing that, but the world knows, you know, who this crazy person is. So, Mia, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're just recently back from.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Google, you so crazy. I just wrote it on the other event. That's why that's my lower third, my lower left.
Exactly.
I'm so excited to be here and to be presenting at Blog Pause. That is going to be off the chain. And Denise told me so much about it. And of course, you guys are friends of mine too. So combining blogging and a conference with pets, hello.
We knew you would want to be there, but we're excited about having you, because you just got back from like a world trip. And,
I did.
Tell us a little bit about that. Mia,
I will. It is Mia on the go. So I'm Mia Voss. I'm the host of the Mia Connect Power Chat, which is a weekly YouTube show that I'm going to have you guys hopefully next week, Yvonne, on the show.
Hopefully,
exciting. So, but it's a weekly show that showcases business innovators and just every type of person, and we have fun.
Yeah,
and then we always do. And then I'm also a brand ambassador and an experience ambassador, and part of that was I just returned from 3.5 weeks in Italy, pretty much drinking and eating my way through Italy for my 50th birthday.
She's not kidding, folks.
And I'm not kidding.
I watched her do that.
It was really fun, but I felt like I got to bring everybody along with me and show them the places that they really need to go and introduce them to new people. So that's kind of what this year is going to be about, is taking it on the road and going to different cities and showing people the experiences as part of Mia on the go. So stay tuned for that.
I like it. Yeah, we need to hear more about that. That's really interesting. We also have with us Lana. And Lana is a Blog Pause blogger. She's a very familiar face. We see quite a bit of her around. She's also a celebrity of her own, right? So, Lana, tell us a little bit about what you're up to lately.
I don't know about celebrity. We did get our first viral video recently, which is exciting, on Facebook. That was one of our goals for this year, was to get over 1 million views on a video, and we did it. But I do the catastrophes web series. Thank you. I do the Catastrophes web series along with my husband Michael Gabriel, and it's where we work with cats, a lot of adoptable cats, and we do funny scripted cat videos, and we work with a lot of local rescues and things to try and get the adoption message out there. So that's kind of my project in addition to my blog, which is what I was usually known for at BlogPause. And so I'm going to be giving a talk that involves video and photography on your smartphone, because I also used to be a photographer. So I'm really excited to do that, and yeah, I'm very happy to go.
Welcome, ladies. Welcome. And Lana, you are actually going to talk about doing video with your phone. You and I talked a little bit about this because so many of the bloggers are dependent on their phone. Can you talk a little bit about what that means? And should we be doing it on our phone, or should we be running out to get a camera?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you ask a filmmaker, they'll be like, get a camera. If you ask any other person, they'll be like, my phone is fine. So if you really want to be very, very serious about it and you want to take the next step, then you can definitely get a camera. And there are many grades and levels of price points that you can go through. But I know that most people have their phones, and I think it's a fine way to learn. Are there limitations? Yeah, definitely there are. But the technology has come to a point now where you know, there are a lot of things that you can do. There are things that you can snap onto your iPhones now to make the picture better. There are programs that you can use. There are free apps that make things look amazing, you know, that we didn't have before. And another thing, too, I think, is that the internet culture has become very tolerant and even more accepting of videos that have been done on phones. I think it's what a lot of people expect to see, and I don't think that it's really a drawback. So I think it's a very good tool for everybody to have, and I think that it's really useful, and I definitely think that everybody should be doing it, because even me, when I'm out, I have my phone. I don't always have a camera. So it's a really good tool to have and to use and to know how to use, regardless of whether or not you want to be very serious about it or you just want to get started. So definitely, yeah.
Denise, I know that you do a lot of quote-unquote professional work, but do you use your phone?
I use my phone for everything. I use my phone for everything except when I'm sitting at my desk and using a webcam, like right now. It's the only time I use a camera, but otherwise, you know, this is what is with me all the time, and the quality has become good enough that you can do a video, you know, on your phone that is good enough to get your story across, and that's what people care about, is the story. And
I agree.
So absolutely. And I know, I know Miss
Mia's
Mia
got her
wants
hand up. Mia,
Well,
and you had something to add to this.
But I'm sorry, it's so goofy. Google is so goofy tonight. I'm just going to give it a nod and go, okay,
hey,
fine.
Google.
Sign me in yeah, Google, get it together. Okay. And can I just say real quickly, I have such a crush on Lana for what she does. That is awesome.
If you have not seen Alana's videos, we need to send you the links, because you will just fall over.
I need to go hit that. That is very Bob Voss approved, by the way. Bob Voss says, Lana, that's our boy.
That's fantastic. Well, now that you're on camera, talk to us about video and the importance of video. I mean, here we are listening to someone who went overseas. You went to Italy, and you basically said, I'm going to do a lot of videos, and you've also done videos on site or traveling. Talk to us about how you don't let anything hold you back. You just get out there and do it.
Just balls out, you know. You kind of have to, because it'll stop you if you don't. And I think for a lot of people, you do feel like you have to get it exactly perfect. And I know Alana just touched on it, and Denise, I missed it, but I know you were saying the same thing about phones. So I have the C90, the Logitech camera here to do my shows, but I really use my phone a lot when I was in Italy, and I wish I would have done it more. I think I tried to do too many stage things, and when I did, like I did a review with a guy that was doing tours in Rome, and I just held my phone up and did a quick 1-minute interview, and it just was boom. It got out there, and you know, I used this Galaxy Note. I call this my phablet, and it does great video. And I think especially for pets and bloggers, you want to capture that spontaneity as opposed to the perfection. A lot of people get lost in the perfection.
Yeah, and then I want to welcome Robert. Robert, we're so glad you could make it. We're having so many technical difficulties, and we're sending Google like the stink eye tonight because they're giving us a hard time. But welcome to Blog Pause Cares and Shares. And before we go too much farther, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Pet World Insider? And then I want you to weigh in on we're talking about whether you need a camera or you can do your phone, or how professional do you need to be. But tell us a little bit about you first.
Sure. Well, my name is Robert Semro, and I am, honored to be a part of the Pet World Media Group. We do everything from Pet World Insider to PetX Talks to Pet Product TV and dozens of other web series. We've been fortunate to work with some of the top companies both in and outside of the pet industry on pet-centric video and audio. So a lot of fun, a lot of experience. We have learned this the hard way, folks. So I'm hoping to be able to share, like the rest of our presenters, some shortcuts so you don't have to go through what we've gone through. But it's been very rewarding. We've had over 7.5 million people watch our videos on our own channel, and then many more on other projects that we've done as well. So that's what we do. I love the question that you asked, though, in terms of how professional do you have to be? Some of the best video out there and the most successful video out there is shot off a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
The technology these days is so advanced, and I encourage everybody, whatever you have, capture the video, capture the moment, because that's really what's critical.
Well, and I think also you were at Blog Pause last year, and so we got to see a little bit of the professional kind of setup. And there may be opportunities for people to do that, but like Denise said earlier, and Lana and Mia also, you're often out and about, and you have the opportunity because you always have that smartphone with you. And basically, we want people to feel comfortable using their smartphone, and we want to get them out there using it. However, we also want them to understand what they can do in a staged setting. So do you, before we move on to the ladies again, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, I mean, we're fortunate. We made the decision that we were going to get deeply involved with what we call dynamic new media content. And that is audio, that's video. We were doing a lot of blogging, writing articles, doing a lot of photo shoots and things of that nature. That's a good part of my background. And what we realized was you can accomplish anything with video. You can really connect so much more deeper and stronger. So we started to do that, and then we really went, I think most people would say we're kind of crazy. We've got over 30 cameras. We have a 4,000 square foot studio. We built our own kitchen and all these different rooms. So and for those of you who were at Blog Pause last year, you saw I had a lot of people comment to me that it looked intimidating, and if that's what they've got to do, they don't want to get into video.
Right.
And I remind them that is not what you have to do. But just like everybody wants to rise to a new level, that's one of the things that we're constantly looking to do. And as we've done that, we have built on every success and failure that we've had. And I would just say, too, when it comes to video, in a stage setting, what it really allows you to do is take away some of the unknowns and raise it to a level that your folks really start to understand this is a business. And sometimes that's a negative, and sometimes it's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
When we do certain things like PetX Talks, which is our version of TED Talks, we couldn't get TED to do talks for pet people, so we decided we'd launch it ourselves. And
do you see us all at the bottom? We're all like, yeah.
I know, exactly, and it's crazy. I mean, we have had fish nutritionists and herbal essences and flower essence. I mean, but we put it on a white backdrop, and as a photographer and a videographer, it's the most basic look you can give something.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it was what was the most effective to draw the people in. So you are just staring at that expert, and that's it. And we didn't think people would connect with it. We were concerned, and 70,000.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting. So Alana, when you're talking about the smartphone concept and pet bloggers especially, I mean, for the average pet blogger, Denise and Mia, Denise knows, Mia's going to learn, Robert met it last year at Blog Pause. We're just down home folks, walking with the dog, going to the dog park. So we're likely to have the phone. We're not likely to have the big professional setup in our house. However, is it advisable, or what would you say about taking the video or taking the photo and then going back and fixing it?
I think that's totally okay. I mean, we do that really with everything that we do, whether we shoot it on a phone or we shoot it on, you know, the Canon systems that we have here. Are you talking about just fixing things in post, like editing and color?
Well, editing your video, editing your photography. So sometimes the bloggers will ask questions to the level of, well, it won't be authentic if I edit it. It won't be real. People won't trust me because I've gone back and tinkered with it. Not true?
It's a good question. I don't think it's true, because if you shoot, I mean, if you're trying to capture something and you capture it, there's no reason for you to show the minute and a half you spent waiting to capture it. You know, you can put in an introduction. You can say, here's what I was trying to capture. You show it, and that's it. I think a lot of people are really used to seeing what goes on, you know, in people's houses where they snap something real quick, but those are for like 15, 20-second videos that you're seeing go viral on Facebook of, you know, a cat riding a truck by, or, you know, a cat on a roof or whatever. And then I saw that the other day, by the way, and I got so inspired I taught my cat to ride a truck. Like, I'm not even joking.
I saw that. I saw that.
I gotta see this.
Yeah, so you know, so Mia and Denise, whichever one of you or both of you in a row or whatever, what I'm looking at here is spontaneity, let's say. I mean, Mia, you were very spontaneous. Okay, I'll learn how to talk someday. Spontaneous when you were traveling. Denise, I know that when you do your shows, even though they're scheduled, they're not scripted down to the every word and every paragraph. So there's a lot of spontaneity there, and that helps it to be authentic. But where's the line? Is there a line?
Well, I think it depends on what your goals are for your video. And, you know, my goal isn't to be super produced. I don't have the time for that, and I don't have the resources for that. I want to get some content out to my audience, and they appreciate the relaxed nature of it, the, you know, intimacy of the video, and that it's really what they're learning and hearing and how they're connecting in a hangout situation, let's say like this, because that's probably the most produced I get is a hangout, and you can even see that my background is kind of like funky right now because I'm in the midst of transitioning stuff. But you know, I just want to go for it. I don't have time to figure it all out. Of course, I have notes, I have bullet points, you know, that I'm going to talk about, and I have the C920 camera like everybody else does, and I have my headset so that the sound is okay. But you know, I really feel that if it's going to stop you, then don't worry about the fancy equipment and the stage steady. To me, it's about starting where you are with what you've got, and if all you have is your smartphone, go for it, because this is the easiest way to start. And then you can say, oh, well, I like this video stuff, and you get a webcam, and then you might start scheduling shows. So it's really, you know, about taking those baby steps and just start where you are.
Well, Mia, here's something that was mentioned by both Robert and Denise, the word intimacy. So we're trying to create those relationships and those connections to the people that are watching. How do you create that intimacy?
Just by being a goofball. That always seems to work, you know what I mean? Because then everybody's relaxed. It really is. I think when you try not to be too stodgy. But if I can loop on to Denise's point and to everybody's point, I think what a good rule of thumb might be, like if you've got, like Robert said, which I got to come there. I'm coming to visit.
You're welcome to visit.
Coming to Blog Pause. You'll meet him.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going to give you a running, jumping hug when I see you because I'm loving what you're doing. But you know, you've got the set, and that's fantastic for content. Like if you have an expert or someone, and you don't want it to be distracting that the background is not, or that the background's not great, or that you know it's sunny or wind or something like that if you're outside. So that's a great way to do it. That's why I have my little This is like sticking to my wall. So I use that for interviews and things like that. But then for on the go, what's great is that you can just be spontaneous. And listen, people are working with animals. They're not going to stop. Or you're like, wait, hold that shot.
Exactly. Animals and kids are about the hardest, and I'm always amazed.
They are.
People like Lana who are so successful at the video and the photography, and Robert did some absolutely fantastic video at Blog Pause last year, and it makes me jealous because honestly I can't do it. I'm sorry. I get my camera out and everything falls apart. I mean, so let's go there. Do any of you have advice for people like myself that just I can't take pictures or video? It's just a big fail. What am I doing wrong? Robert, why don't you tell me?
Yeah, if I could jump in, and before we leave the smartphone thing, I have one thing I just want to beg everybody who goes to the phone. Please turn your phone horizontal. I love seeing vertical photos, but a vertical video is really not getting what you want.
Robert, I got dog shamed on that, by the way, for one video I did.
We've all done it. We've all done it, so don't be ashamed. But it really is. It's like one of the people ask me, how do I get going? And they'll send me their videos, and they're all vertical, and I'm like, well, let me give you the first tip. So, folks, that's a freebie. But in all seriousness, you know what, Yvonne, and those of you who know me as the photographer, we build out these elaborate photo scenes, 15 by 20 feet with all these props, and then we put animals in them, and everybody tells me the same thing. I could never do that. My pet would never do that. That's, those must be trained dogs. And I always say, you know what, none of them were trained other than what we basically all do. And the second part is I'm not a great photographer. I just am fortunate to photograph and we video great subjects. And great subjects tell great stories. And so, I got to tell you, Yvonne, if all you did was turn on the camera, and it really comes down to patience. And
there you go.
would get, 15, 20, 30 seconds, whatever it may be. I think you would be surprised at how many people would go, wow, your videos are incredible. Where did you learn that from? Who did you learn it from? There are certainly tricks, and there are certainly things that professionals do. But in the end, if your subjects won't work with you, you're not going to get what you want, or more importantly, what your audience wants.
Yeah. Well, I love that. Who else wants to chime in on that?
I just want to quickly say that I think it's also a matter of just doing a lot of it. I am so far from being a professional photographer, it's not even funny, and I am certainly not a videographer by any stretch of the imagination, but I take hundreds of pictures. And, some of them are great, and some of them are terrible. The only ones you see are the ones that are great. And I get people who tell me my pictures are great, but frankly, it's just because I take a lot, and I'm willing to use them, and I crop them sometimes. And so I really think it's just doing it. And the more you do it, the more you start to see things like, well, if I take it, if I use the rule of thirds and I have the subject over on the left, that means I can use it for a quote image and, write something on the sky part of it or something. You start to see those.
Wow, I don't know. You're already thinking way beyond me. I'm just like, I get the kids. The kids are doing something I want to photograph, and I'm telling you, I'm sorry, Robert. As soon as they see that phone come out, that's it. They're like,
they're running
here.
Well, you know what though? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to make a quick suggestion. I'm wondering if starting with Instagram for a lot of people might be great too, so that you've got the little video thing, and start with Instagram and do your 15 seconds and see how it goes over. And if you start getting likes,
that's a great tip. That's a great
tip.
And let me throw this out.
And you don't have to publish them.
Right.
I'm sorry, Robert.
Well, let me just throw this one out because a lot of people have that same reaction you do. I try and do it, but then the kids, the dogs, the cat, whatever it is, when you get down on your knees or down on their level, that's a signal for them to come and engage with you. I always tell people I can't photograph my own dogs well, but I can photograph everybody else's, because when I get down on their level, that's not a signal to them to come to me. They're still looking at their owners. So yeah, it's one of the tricks that I use as a photographer all the time is Of course you can't photograph like I do, because when you do what I do, I lay on the ground. I call it full contact photography. I am all over the place, but they're
Oh
not
man.
my animals. If those were my dogs, they'd jump all over me, roll around,
Yeah.
and we'd
Yeah.
have fun.
Exactly. So
So
Alana,
don't be discouraged if you can't get your own. Maybe try doing it for a friend.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know. My daughter brings her dogs, and they're not a whole lot better. But well, the other problem
they
with
know
her
you.
dogs, from my end, is that her dogs are black. I cannot get a good picture of those dogs. But Alana, you actually work with cats. I mean, and you taught your cat to ride a truck. How do you do that?
How did I do it? A lot of patience, some training, and a lot of treats.
And did you videotape it? You did.
Yeah.
I have video of it.
Yeah. We have video of it. I was actually going to videotape the process, and then of course, my point here is actually I was going to say in our case we have teamwork going on, and that is like crucial for us because when I was alone training them, I couldn't also be working the camera. So what we caught really on video was I was doing one thing while my husband was doing the filming. So I work a lot with the animals, he captures it. Or if he needs to do something, I might grab the camera. 99% of the time, he's the one filming and I'm the one handling the animals. So if you can get somebody to help you, that's really gonna be very helpful. And it doesn't have to be a lot of help. It can just be someone who has your dog sit a little bit longer, or who waves some keys around behind your head so that your cat will look in that direction. It doesn't have to be a lot of help. It doesn't have to be technical help. But if you can have somebody assist you, I think that's going to really help,
I think that's really good advice. And I wonder, too, what I'm hearing here, the word patience. And that's my downfall. I don't have patience. Tom has more patience. He'll get the camera phone out, and I'll be like, take the darn picture, and he's like, just be patient. So I think this has really been helpful. It's gone by very fast, too fast. I'm going to go down the line now, and I want to thank all of you for coming to Blog Pause Cares and Shares. I can't wait to see each one of you at the conference. This is going to be one of the best conferences ever. We have over 80 dogs coming. We have several cats. We have, I believe we have a duck. I'll let that sit. I think
interview the duck.
Okay, and I think we have a pig, and we might have a capybara. I don't know, but you never know what to expect at Blog Pause. So I'm going to start. Oh, ferrets. I'm sorry. The ferrets are like always there. You just can't have a Blog Pause without our ferrets. So Alana, I'm going to ask you what your pet project is today.
My pet project, Catastrophes is my project. Besides the blog, I think that's really what we're doing. Otherwise, right now, I just bought a house and I'm learning how to miter, saw, and use power tools. So,
heavens to Betsy. So take some video of that. Heavens to Betsy. So Denise, what is your pet project?
My pet project is a book I'm writing about entrepreneurial impact entrepreneurs will have on the world, and why you need to be found and known and seen in order to make that impact.
Wow, I can't wait to see that. Mia Voss, what is your pet project?
Just the Mia on the go, more like the places where I'm gonna go. So we'll see what cities. I think Austin's gonna be on my list for the summer, and then we'll go from there. And then of course the Mia Connect Power Chat.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And Robert, what is your pet project?
Well, we have PetX Talks, we have Pet World Insider, and we have Blog Pause 2015 coming up. So we've got a lot on our plate.
Yeah, well, all of you are going to just make the conference that much better. We are so fortunate to have some of the most outstanding speakers this year, so thank you very much. Thank you for coming to this hangout. Thank you for putting up with the technical issues, and I hope we get to do something like this again, because I think we just brushed the surface. I think it was a lot of fun and very educational. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.
See you next month.
Thank you.
Bye.